Amar is on his second trimester, so he's just getting things warmed up. So his labor will be smooth and easy, right? Yeah. You said you're expecting your second kid now, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good for you.
Right.
I support that, man.
I know you do.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a hot minute due to COVID, but I'm back, and we're actually here live at Fitness 365, and I'm gonna take you guys through a leg day. I've had a lot of requests for this, and I'm really excited to be able to take you guys through a wheels day. So I have my man here, Amar. He's from the West Coast, and he's also a client of mine. So what we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna train, I'm gonna demonstrate on him, and you guys are gonna be able to see, you know, one-on-one what it's like to train with the pro and me helping him get through his workout as efficiently as possible. So God bless, stay tuned, and I look forward to for you guys to be able to check this out. Okay guys, so if you've been following me, you'll know that because of my heart disease, I haven't done a cycle in 19 months. With that said, I don't need to be separating my leg days up in, you know, quad day and ham day. Right now, we're gonna do both. So it's gonna be a lot more of a simpler workout. Again, I don't need as much in order to get a good pump and tear the muscle fibers up. So with that said, I'm gonna start with hamstrings. I find if I train the quad first and the quad is too pumped, I'm not gonna get enough contraction on my ham because I don't have as much of a range of motion because the quad gets really pumped. So I'm gonna start off today on a lying ham machine curl. Last week, I like to alternate. I did a lying dumbbell curl with a dumbbell. So this week, I'm gonna be doing the machine and as well as squats later on. I did free weight squats last week, so this week I'm gonna be doing it front squats on a Smith press. But you guys will see as we go on in the workout rolls. So make sure you stay tuned. Okay guys, so I just did my first warm-up. The idea for myself, I always try to push my clients and anybody, when you're training heavy, you gotta make sure you're doing your warm-ups prior to that in order to prevent injury. And again, you wanna lengthen the muscle fibers before you start cranking all the blood in there because you don't want anything to snap, whether it's a tendon or a muscle fiber. So again, warm-ups are extremely important. I usually warm up for every exercise that I'm doing, 1 or 2 sets prior to my, you know, main movement or my top sets, as a lot of people call them. So yeah, make sure you're incorporating that in all your workouts. As you can see, Amar's getting the full extension to lengthen the muscle fiber, and he's also kind of rocking back with it in order to take the tension off the tendon so he doesn't get an injury, because that's very common. Come up, control it, no bouncing off the hamstring. Beautiful. And getting that contraction is gonna help push all the blood into the hamstring. Good. Open and contract. You want to stretch as much as you can and funnel all the blood into the hamstring. Guys, remember, the blood is what carries all the nutrients. So the more blood you're shoving into the muscle you're training, the more you could stretch the muscle and get a quality pump. Okay, so there I did more of a strip set. I maxed out with, I think, 8 reps, and then I started bringing the weight down. Again, the strength is gone, but you could still push more blood into the muscle. Some guys may not be a fan of that. I love that, especially if I'm off gear or I'm going into a show and I'm not at the peak of my off season where my strength isn't, you know, at an extraordinary height. So yeah, I just like to push as much blood in there as I can and stretch the muscle fibers open as much as possible. Okay, so this is a simple movement. Anytime you're on a machine, I mean, the machine is usually guiding the movement for you. It's not like a free weight when you really have to check your form because you're doing all the work. You sit down. The only thing you want to make sure with this is that your hips are hinged properly and that your chest stays upright so you're not using too much momentum. A little bit different from lying. That's why we incorporate both, because we want to hit as many angles as possible to get the most diverse 3D physique that we possibly can. Chest up, hips hinged, getting a full range of motion, coming up, getting a full stretch on the ham, and contracting to make sure he gets that peak. Good. Hold. I want you to hold this one. Squeeze. One more. Come on. Squeeze. Good. Good job. Okay, so this being Fitness 365, Darren Oliver used to be the king of this gym. And if you're trained by Darren, you know the only way to stack plates on a bar is for it to be reverse inside out. You never put the plate otherwise. And again, if you're part of Team Oliver and you know Darren, this is a rule you can never break. You take this shit with you everywhere. So guys, this is gonna be my top set. I put another 10 on, so it's 3/4 and a 35. From right now, I feel like this is a good amount of weight for me. This is the meat and potatoes of the hamstring movements. This is the best, in my opinion, to put on quality muscle on the hamstrings. It's a compound movement. It engages your glutes, it engages your hams, most of your body, actually. Well, that's why it's compound, but this specifically with the stretch and contraction will help you put on a great amount of muscle. 10. Not bad for a guy with heart disease, eh? So on rack the bar, you're grabbing it with your hips back and you're already in position with the hamstrings engaging. So you see he's coming down below the knee, so he's getting a full stretch and range of motion on the hamstring. And as well, simultaneously the whole time, he's actually contracting his glutes. See, chest up, head up. Perfect. So this is the 4th and final hamstring movement. It's not gonna be a heavy movement, it's just gonna be a very well-controlled movement. I'm gonna feel out the movement as much as possible. Again, full range. I'm gonna open up the ham as much as I can, lengthen the muscle fibers, and then get a solid contraction and push as much blood into the muscle as I can. So again, not heavy. This is an isolation movement, and the meat and potatoes of this body part is already done. So after this, we still gotta hit quads. Maximum contraction right there. Not touching the bottom, keeping all the tension on the hamstring. Making it smooth, not touching the ham either. All the tension on the hamstring. And control down, resist me, resist me, resist me. Good. Like great Dorian Yates always said, the negative part of the movement is most important, even more so over the positive part.
Right there, right there. Yeah. Instagram.
I'm gonna follow you guys on Instagram right now.
Mike Wheels, IFBB Pro.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll follow you back, bro. Stay in touch. We're always
sure.
training here. We're training in Mississauga. We're training in Woodbridge.
Yeah, it's good, man.
He's from the West Coast, but he comes.
Experience, you know. So
yeah,
if
of course.
I need any help.
Yeah, of course.
I'm from fucking Van. I come here to train with him. He's my coach.
Oh shit, he's your coach.
Content, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's you, right?
Yes.
True.
Cool, man. Respect.
House of GainZ official.
That's a sick name. House of GainZ, I swear. Because House of Highlights is the.
Yeah, you know House of Highlights. Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys.
Hey, man. Much love. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Respect, bro.
Thanks.
Whatever you're doing, if you ever need a hand, bro, message him. DM me anytime. All our stories, shit's fucking free, man.
Did that happen often?
Honestly, more so when I was bigger. As I downsize, I feel like I don't pop out as much in the gym, but it still happens from time to time. Again, this is my home gym, so I train here for 5-6 years. So I guess people may recognize, I mean, either him, you know, they're both Punjabi, so maybe they had that connection, and I just happened to be like the third wheel. So maybe he was in the spotlight this time and I was just kind of following, but it's always nice to get love from people who, you know, who kind of recognize the hard work.
It's also the energy, Mike. You know
the energy,
people,
yes,
you feel that energy from a mile away.
100%.
Right? Like I feel your energy from fucking 2 planets away, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know? So it's like other people feel it too. And when you're doing such a good thing and motivating people, people are attracted to it.
Yes, right? Yes, I agree with that, what he said. Okay guys, so exercise number 1 for quads, for myself, and again, it's something I always recommend to people, you wanna warm the knees up as much as you can. Especially when you're natural, you don't have as much blood in the system, moving around, helping lubricate your joints. But even with that, still on a cycle, you should still always warm up your major joints, whether it's with bench or shoulders when you're pressing on your elbows, or with your knees when you're doing squats and training legs. So I always start with the leg extension first. I make sure I get as much blood in there as I can. I've already done 4 warm-up sets on this. And again, the point is to prevent injury, warm up the muscle so that when you go for your heavy movements and your top sets with your squats, your heavy leg press and your hack squat, you're ready and you're not gonna get hurt. Because if I were to go straight into squats without warming up, I mean, I just call 911 in advance because I'd end up in the hospital anyways, to be honest with you. So super important, warm up with these, and you should get your first working sets in with the leg extension as well, in my opinion. Full contraction on the quad coming all the way up, coming down to 90, and ending at a straight line. Or you could hyperextend a little bit if you have the knee power, which I don't. Up, resist. Good, 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 good. Good. For anybody who's ever been to this gym, they know that this gym's old school. They got a lot of old school pieces of equipment. And one of the benefits to that is you get the old school Smith press, which is just straight up and down, no angles. So if you guys train at a Good Life, at LA Fitness, any of the new school gyms, they have the angle which could fucking seriously screw up your back, your knees, your spine, all that, just because when you have a heavy load on your back and you're doing squats, it screws up the center of gravity. So I felt like today I was able to squat a little bit heavier on front squats because of the nature of, first of all, it's smooth, second of all, it's straight up and down. All squats, all compound movements essentially should be drop and catch effect. It should be right up and down. There should be no angles. So with that said, God bless this gym, and I love the Smith press. So guys, remember when you're doing this, the pressure and the weight is on the front. So you're a lot more likely to pull forward. I know a lot of you guys are used to doing back squats when the weight is in the back and you could kind of level it off easier. But keep in mind, you got to get under it more because the weight is going to be on your chest. So pulling down, you have to make sure you're controlling that, or else you're going to do this and you don't want to hurt your back or anything. So you see how he's pulling more? Yep, he's pulling more forward. Breathing is a little bit tricky on this, but once you get it, you'll find it's super efficient for quad growth. Yep. Let's go. I got you. That was a top set. That was definitely my top set.
Fire set.
Not going any heavier than that. Outer quad. This is for outer quad, guys. Help with that sweep that a lot of people lack. If you don't train it, you're not going to get it. Train 3D, and you'll start developing the body parts to help you look 3D. You can't really get this from just doing squats.
How long you get to do this for? Bro,
fuck.
15 years, 15 years.
Yeah. I'm young blood, bro. I'm only like 21 right now.
Oh, wow. You have a lot of time to go. You gotta keep putting the work. You gotta make sure you just do it like consistently. Don't give up. Don't let any, try not to dip and fuck up with, the amount of food you're eating, because it's very easy. Once the calories go down, your results aren't going to be the same.
No, I'm just thinking of going on a small cut and then just doing a clean ball for like a year. Because I realize that a lot of people my age, they stay aside.
For sure.
Stay so lean.
Yeah, they get, but it's also.
Abs, you know what I mean? I like more the muscular look,
It's also. The thing is also because the calories they're getting in are not quality. They're eating fast food, they're eating out. They're not at home cooking steak, fish, chicken, eggs, oatmeal, rice, potato, all that good stuff. So that's why you're still eating the same when you're bulking and cutting. It's just different amounts. It's the same food sources, right?
Watch the Instagram stories. You'll see what we eat, how we cook, and all that kind of stuff, right? Bro, it's gonna come down to how bad you want it. That's it. Right? You know what I mean? Everybody wants the money. Who really wants the money?
Everyone wants it, but who is really willing to dig deep and go through the dark tunnels? Because remember, there's no crowds when you're at home alone cooking at fucking midnight, knowing that your buddies are out maybe getting laid or partying, whatever the fuck they're doing, and you got to put the work. But it pays off, man. I mean, if you love it, you know it's easy.
For us, this is our life. Right? You know what I mean? Like this is all we do, right?
I'm at a lead class. I'm gonna tell you guys Muhammad Ali, my favorite quote. He's like, I hated every minute of training.
Yeah.
And I told myself, if I suffer now, I'll live the rest of my life
as a champion.
You know what I mean?
I had that quote in my basement.
It's very important.
You know this already, right?
That's it.
Okay, so this is exercise number 4 for quads. It's going to be hack squat, but it's not traditional hack squat. We're not going to be going wide leg. We're going to be going narrow leg. So again, putting emphasis on the outer sweep. We've already done the meat and potatoes of a quad movement. We did leg extension, we did front squats. We're gonna do lunges next. Again, no weight, just opening up the muscle at this point and putting in as much blood as we can and getting a nice 3D pump. When I mean 3D, you're not just hitting the inner quad like most people do when they squat, we're hitting the outer quad. And I feel like for me, that's what I'm most known for. And it's not because I'm genetically blessed, I mean maybe a little bit, but it's more so training with intent. If you want a certain body part to grow, you need to train that angle. Right? It's like if you want your incline chest to grow, you want to get that shelf, you can't just be busting out, decline bench press. You got to target the muscle you want. So I overemphasize the quad sweep and I make sure that I put as much blood in there as I can So I know at the end of the day, I did as much as I could to get the best sweep possible. Oh. Yeah, as you can tell, outer sweep. So Amar, again, he's got his feet close like I just demonstrated for you guys. He's gonna drop his hips back and down. So he's shifting his hips back and dropping them to make sure all the emphasis is on the quads. Good, and you can see as he's exploding because of the position of his feet, his body is forced to fire off mostly with the outer quad. Opposed to wider feet will be more inner. Okay guys, so this is the last and final exercise for our leg day. It's gonna be one set, it's a body weight lunge. What this is gonna do is just help open up the quads. Like I said before, the whole point is with this is to just lengthen out those muscle fibers, squeeze the rest of the blood as much as you can into the muscle without being fatigued by any more heavy resistance. And we're gonna go one time.
Now I get your joke.
What?
I said, now I get your joke.
Oh, you just keep doing that. Okay guys, so last but not least, finishing off the workout on the stairs. There's many benefits to doing cardio, especially post-training. You're gonna move the lactic acid around. It's great for your heart. You're moving blood around. It's gonna help with recovery. It's gonna help with growth. Again, keep in mind, you always have to keep in mind, all the nutrients are carried through blood cells. So the more you're moving the blood cells around, the more blood cell volume you have going into a muscle, the better it's gonna be. Plus, you won't be as sore for long, so it's gonna help with the recovery process because you're moving that lactic acid around. It's not just sitting there. So remember, even if you're bulking, it's still a great idea to do stairs or cardio after training, whether it's stairs, treadmill, bike, elliptical, just to keep your heart moving and moving the blood around.
Man, that was a devastating leg day. From the beast from the east, Mike Wheels, the one and only, man. So much knowledge this guy has, so much experience. My job is to soak it like a sponge and improve my physical aspect from every angle. And I'm grateful to do this today with Mike. Mike, thanks a lot, buddy. We're going to do this fucking wicked workout.
If you followed through to this point, I appreciate it. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe down below, and we're done. That's it. Peace.